weekly Facebook Lives where I offer you some tips and some trainings and tools to really dive deep into developing your soul sound, connecting with your true artistic voice, and working through any blocks around fear and self-doubt to really step into your full confidence as an artist committed to the healing and transformation of yourself and the world. And really, my intention is to empower you and give you what you need to really take the next step to make the impact in the world that you would like to make and to really attract your soulmate audience. So today I'm going to be talking about the myth of talent and specifically how we can really step into our divine calling and release the stories that are holding us back, or release the kind of the judgment or the things that are coming towards us from the outside that feel like they don't really fit and can sometimes stop us from really stepping in to our divine calling, into our true artistic path, and really taking that next step. So before we dive in, I do want to let you know a couple of things. First of all, I'm offering a free live webinar tonight, which is called 5 Steps to Unleash Your Voice, Step into Your Power, and Own Your Stage. And it is free, and you can go to shesingsoutloud.lpages.co/webinar in order to get that training or in order to register. And I will put that into the chat as well, so you can click that link. And I'm going to be offering a really special gift to people who are able to show up live. You're going to be entered into a drawing to win a one-on-one coaching session with me. So if you want to come and do this amazing free training and then have an opportunity to win that, please jump in and register. And this training that I'll be offering, really what we're going to be going over is how to connect with your soul sound and why it's so important to do so, the common blocks and mistakes most often made when learning to sing or working on our voice, and how to create freedom and ease instead. And then the number one mindset shift that you can easily make today to restore your power and confidence. I'm going to be talking about how to cultivate healthy practice habits free from overwhelm, resistance, or aggression, and also how to become a fearless performer and really attract your soulmate audience. So I'm going to pop that into the chat here. Just give me a sec. I'm going, let's see if I can do that just so you have access to it. And again, it's shesingsoutloud.com/ or shesingsoutloud.lpages.co/webinar. So popping that into the chat. Here we go. Just give me one sec. And if you're watching live in our Facebook group, it's coming to you soon. I'm going live on our page and Facebook group here. So there's that link to register. And then the other thing I want to let you know before we dive in is there are only a few more days to register for She Sings Out Loud's 90-day program, From Closet Singer-Songwriter to Powerful Performer. And this is kind of the core program that I offer. And it's about really, again, stepping into your true artistic calling, connecting deeply to your soul sound, your most authentic gift, and then developing your singing, your songwriting, and your performance skills so that you can attract your soulmate audience and make that impact that you want to make with your music. So in this program, I'm going to be giving you concrete step-by-step training and tools to develop your singing, songwriting, music theory, and performance skills. You're going to design a practice routine that inspires you, it works for your life, and aligns with your genuine goals so you can wake up every day knowing exactly what to focus on today, tomorrow, and a year from now, and stop practicing the things that don't actually matter and bring you down. And really, that's about just cutting through any of your frustration and your overwhelm and really developing more joy and freedom and ease in your practice. You're going to receive mindset trainings that help you release negative self-talk and habits of self-aggression that are keeping you stuck and despairing and frustrated, and you're going to really develop a whole new level of confidence with these mindset shifts. You're going to gain clarity around who you are as an artist and why your music matters so that you can step out of thinking you aren't good enough and step into impact and owning it. You're going to learn to access and fully develop your soul sound, your most authentic creative voice, so you can trust and honor your creative instincts and stop trying to fit into a box of what you or anyone else thinks that you should be. And you're going to align your music making with your open heart and your spiritual path. if you have one, so you can reach your greatest potential as an artist committed to the healing and transformation of yourself and the world. You're going to tap into your innate feminine wisdom and learn to honor the natural rhythms of your body to bring more yin energy into your creative work and your career so you can feel more aligned and stop feeling like you're on the brink of burnout. You're going to fill the gaps in your knowledge so you no longer feel stopped by the kind of I'm not good enough or I'm not ready fears, which I know so many of us have. So it's really filling your gaps in knowledge of music theory and how to communicate with other musicians, how to collaborate and things like that, as well as your singing and your songwriting and your performance skills, and really knowing how to put yourself out there into the world. And I'm going to help you get over internalized patriarchal stories and assumptions that are holding you back from being the badass musician that I know you were born to be, because you are here. So I know that you have this amazing gift to offer the world. I'm going to teach you the #1 technique to get over your stage fright. And this is really forever. So if you have any anxiety about sharing your music, I'm serious about this. I've taught this to over 100 women, and it's really worked for them, this technique to really step into your full power, get over your anxiety and your fear, and really have confidence sharing your music. And not to just you'll stop being stopped by sharing your music. You'll just be totally unleashed in the world, able to share and offer your gifts. And you're going to, maybe this is the most important thing of the program, you're going to be held in loving support with an incredible circle of like-minded women and femme creatives who you can lean on for collaboration opportunities, accountability, brainstorming ideas, workshopping songs, sharing breakthroughs and challenges. You can really get the relevant feedback when you need it most. And this amazing lifetime bonds are made through this community, just incredible support system in this group of sisters that you will have for life to really keep cheering you on and to bounce ideas off of. So I'm going to pop the link to register for that program into the chat here. And I have decided, because many of you asked and I've been in lots of conversations with people wanting to do this program, and you asked, and I know that it's been a really hard time with COVID, so I've decided, never done this before, but I'm going to offer a really special payment plan to make it more possible for you to do this program. So you can register today for just $57. $57, and that's a payment plan that you'll extend through the year. But $57 today, you can enter this program, and there's going to be lots of video content. There's 6 modules that walk you through all of these beautiful contents, and you can just go to that link and look at all the details of what's in those modules. And then there are group coaching calls where you really get individualized feedback and support from me, as well as being held in this really lovely group. So I think I will just tell you briefly before we dive into today's topic, just about what each module is. So module 1 is your soul sound and your practice, where you get really clear on connecting to that authentic voice inside. I teach you a 4-part practice to get in touch with that voice and really step into your power as an artist. And then you get clear on how to design your practice routine that works for you in your life. And we did some of this if you went through the 5-day challenge with me. We did some of this, but there's also just so much more in the program. Module 2 is unlocking and unleashing your singing voice. So after you've been able to connect to your soul sound, I give you all the vocal technique and tools to really develop your voice and to be able to move into these spaces in your voice that either you didn't know you had or felt really stuck before. And through a combination of these techniques and the soul sound practice, you become really empowered to just know what to do when anything comes up in your voice. When you feel a little stuck, when you have a day or a cold, something going on, you know how to navigate those spaces, and you know how to exactly what to do, what muscle groups to move, and how to kind of organize the whole mechanism of your voice to make the sound that you want. So you really step into your ability to own your authentic voice and share it fully without any kind of physical tension or emotional shutdown or anything like that. Module 3, we talk about the sacred feminine and your magical music mindset. So this is about shifting anything that has kind of you've been held back by feeling like you aren't good enough, or you're carrying kind of old stories that are impacting you from stepping out into the world and developing your gift and sharing it. And so we talk about identity, how identity gets created, and how we can actually free ourselves up from the identity we had that's not serving and create a new identity for ourselves. And then we talk about the sacred feminine and how we can really, in honoring feminine wisdom, which is an energy that exists in all genders, really does. And I think for us women and femme people, it's so important. We've learned to be powerful by really becoming more masculine in many ways, and that can lead to a lot of self-aggression and kind of do, push mentality. And this is about stepping back and learning to receive and to honor our instincts and our intuition and the sense of just kind of free-flowing form and spontaneity and space of surrender as a tool to use in our creativity. Module 4 is about developing your authentic, aligned songwriting process. So you get really clear every time you sit down to write a song. There's no more fear of the blank page or creative paralysis, and you really develop this process for yourself that you know works, and it's connected to the soul sound practice. Module 5, we work on your musical message and who you are as an artist. So getting super clear on who you are, what you want to offer, what things to be focusing on to develop who you are and who you want to be into the future. And then really getting clear on your mission with the music, why you're making music, what you have to offer. And that can be huge, again, to step into a new place of confidence, to really know who you are and why you're doing this. And then you're able to communicate that to others. So it moves right into module 6, which is about powerful performing and calling in your soulmate audience. And so when you know who you are and what you stand for, you are able to language that in a way that starts to attract your soulmate audience. And I also teach you this really powerful technique that will have you not have stage fright ever again. And even more than that, it'll teach you how to be magnetic, how to really own the stage and be powerful and shine your light in a way that naturally what happens is people start to come towards you and want to receive your gift and start to kind of witness you in a whole new way. So if you've ever struggled to feel like your music's not heard, or you don't know how to build your audience, this is really the first step before all of the marketing and all of that, to really learn how to be magnetic and how to attract that audience and draw people in naturally. And this is what I have done in order to build my beautiful community of listeners and be able to do 30, 50 shows per year and make a decent living doing that. This is the techniques that I've taught to many, many women that have helped them to really shine in a whole new way and stop dimming your light and really be confident in sharing your beautiful heart and your light out into the world. So again, $57, you can register today on a payment plan. I would love to have you in the program. I'm also happy to jump on the phone with you. If you have any questions or want to discuss how this could work specifically for your dreams and your goals, you can feel free to shoot me an email at shesingsoutloudcommunity@gmail.com, and I will respond with a link and we can schedule a time to talk this week. There are just a few more spots. There's 6 more spots left in the program as of now, and registration just does close on Friday. And if you want to come to the webinar tonight, I'll be offering a really, really special gift to you and a special little kind of discount or so on the program. I don't always love the word discount, but it's more of an offering, a heart offering to you that has to do with a little bit money off, but more than that, also giving you access to more time to get coached by me. Essentially, if you come to the webinar tonight and are able to attend live, I really love to work with people who show up fully. So when you show up to this webinar, that shows me that we can have this beautiful relationship, and then I want to offer something back to you for your time. So that is everything about programs and webinars and all of that. So let's dive in to today's training, which is, again, about the myth of talent and how to really step into your divine calling. Let me take a little sip of water. It's been so hot here in Vermont. I feel like I'm just guzzling water and still dehydrated. Just how it is. It's beautiful summer weather. Okay, so the myth of talent. So I'm wondering, and you can throw into the chat if you're watching, have you ever had somebody say to you, oh my gosh, you're so talented in X. You should be doing X. You're so good at X or Y or Z, right? Or have you ever been in a situation where someone said, oh, you're really not talented in that. Maybe you shouldn't do this. you have talents more here, but not really there. So you should not do this. So talent is a funny word, and this is just my experience. This came out of conversation with one of my students and then talking to several other people. So this is my experience and students that I've worked with, people I've worked with, and I'm definitely not saying this is right, but I do think that the word talent is a little bit tricky because it implies that, first of all, there's a should, like because we either have talent or we don't, we should be doing this and we should not be doing that. So instead of really honoring our intuition and our gift, we start to just kind of consider the opinions of the outside, what we should or shouldn't be doing. And I think we look for some kind of proof that we're good enough. So that is the biggest thing. And that can really, really impact our confidence in a huge way. Okay. So again, I'll say that one more time. So this really impacts our confidence. When we are told you're talented in this and you're not talented in that, we suddenly have limits on what we allow ourselves to do. And we feel like we can be working on this, but we shouldn't be working on that. The other really big issue, I think, with this word talent is that it doesn't actually indicate the kind of work that goes into birthing our creative projects or anything in life, really. It kind of just, it implies that somehow it's easy. And so then when it feels difficult, we again think, oh, I must not have enough talent. I must not be good enough at this. This is feeling hard. Therefore, there's something wrong with me. Okay? Or you could be on the other side where somebody says, oh, you're so talented in this and it feels so easy for you, that then you think there's something wrong, because our culture really rewards this idea that things should be hard, that we have to work hard on things, that it is hard, life is hard. And so if there is a sense of ease and flow, we start to question and doubt ourselves and think that, again, like sometimes maybe it doesn't feel like it's worth it, or because it's so easy and there's maybe so much talent there, maybe we crave the work. And therefore we think we kind of shouldn't be doing this, or we think it should be hard. We turn away from it, or we shut down in some ways. And I think both of these things are true, that there are times when things feel really, really hard. And what we can do is move through that and kind of, because we're committed to something and we see the potential, the hard part can be such a huge lesson and such a huge gift, because it sort of it makes us go a little deeper. When things are easy, it's kind of, sometimes we can just sort of coast. So when things are hard, there's something really great about that. You can kind of move through it. But it doesn't mean because it's hard, it doesn't mean that we're not, or we don't need to just say, oh, we're not talented in this. It just means that we're sort of hitting our edge and there's a potential for a breakthrough on the other side. Now, on the other hand, when things feel easy, that can be really, really beautiful. I think sometimes our greatest gift does come in the form of the things where there is a lot of ease and flow. But the thing is that the creative process is not linear. It is, it's going to be hard one day and then it's going to be easy one day. And we really need to learn to just kind of dance with that and not have that mean anything about what we can and we cannot do. Okay. So again, I think the issue with, there are some things that we might be talented in, and then we think we should put all our energy into that, but it may not be truly aligned with what we feel called for. Okay. So really important to just look for yourself and sort of stop listening to all the voices outside telling you what you are talented in, what you're not talented in, as some kind of indication of the direction that you should be moving in. Okay, what we can do instead is to trust our longing. And when we trust our longing, then we can be in the dance of sometimes there is ease and sometimes there is grit. And then we can move back into ease and we can move back into grit. But there is some kind of ability to dance and to find an equilibrium in all of this, rather than these kind of dualistic thinking of I should or I shouldn't, I'm talented or I'm not. Instead, there was just this beautiful natural flow of being on a creative journey. Okay, So again, from in my experience, I've had the things come up for both of these. I've had people come up to me after a show and say, "Oh, you're so talented in that. You're so talented." And I always find that a little triggering. I'm working with that. I'm trying to not be triggered by it, but I find it a little triggering, but because it feels like it negates all of the hard work that I put in. That from the time that I was 6 years old, I've been practicing my violin every single day, that all of the work of going through music school, all of the work of, everything it takes to build a career and to put yourself out there. And there's so much that goes into it, into that one moment that someone's seeing me. And so when they reflect back, oh, you're talented, it implies to me that somehow it should have been easier. Now, this might be just my personal experience, but I'm just wondering and curious if some of you have that experience, which is why I'm sharing it, that somehow it feels like it diminishes some of the grit of there, right? Now, and I've also had people tell me, oh, you're so talented, you should do this. Like, you should go on American Idol or The Voice. You're so talented, you're such a talented singer, you should be doing this. And again, that doesn't actually fit with me. It feels like it's a reflection that I get is coming from a lot of love. Like, I totally don't mean this in any way to diminish my appreciation for people appreciating what I do, right? But it's more to look at what do we do with that feedback. So I can receive that feedback and go, oh, thank you for sharing. I'm so glad you appreciate it. But if I receive that feedback as somehow, oh my goodness, I guess I should be trying to do this. When I really look deeper, it's not aligned with my longing and what I want to move towards, or it's not aligned with my goals and my dreams, that's where the problem would come in, right? It's not a problem that people say things. It's a problem of what we turn that into, and learning to stand in our full power of what we have to offer rather than just get swayed by the feedback coming in by the outside, positive or negative, right? You are talented and you're not talented. I've also been told that I'm not talented. I've, failed auditions and been said, oh, sorry, you're not, you don't have what it takes. We're not going to let you into this, competition, orchestra, whatever it is. Right. So again, if I were to take that as, oh, I'm not talented and actually stop, that would be really sad, I think, really sad, because there is something in me that I have to offer. It just may have not have been a good fit for that particular situation. So this is my encouragement to you to really, instead of looking towards, am I talented and am I not? Do I have what it takes or do I not? Am I good enough or am I not? I should have started when I was younger. I'm too old. I don't have the looks. Whatever it is, whatever these stories that we create that may have come from something real that someone said to us at some point, whatever we turn that into as somehow permission to do or to not do, really important to look at that and then step back into your longing. Your longing, as I say over and over again, is the indication of what you are meant to do. You wouldn't have longing. You wouldn't feel so moved and so called if there wasn't something pulling you towards that. It's almost like the longing is this, it lives in you, but it could almost be thinking of as it's outside of you, calling you into being, calling you up. So the longing is there and you rise up to meet the longing. And then with that, yes, sometimes there's a lot of hard work and sometimes there's ease, but you can navigate that path with so much grace and beauty when you are noticing your longing and then allowing yourself to rise up into your longing, and you're trusting your longing as an indication of where you should go. So you can really look at this in the big sense, which is, are you called? This is an opportunity to really look, what do you long for, and to step fully into your divine calling. I know that because you're even watching this video and you're with me here today live, or you're watching the replay, I know that you have an extraordinary gift to offer. And I know that because you wouldn't be here if you didn't have something to offer, a beautiful voice. And I know that sometimes might feel really hard to believe and to trust. And I will just continue to say it back to you until you do, because it's really, really true. And I've had to discover this the hard way in myself. And I've worked with so many women. When they are able to trust their longing, the doors open. all these things that we think on the outside that are blocking us, it's often really us not fully trusting our longing and moving that direction. And then everything else is just learning new things and developing the skills. But if we just learn the skills and develop and do the trainings on top of this kind of not trusting our longing, on top of this real deep-seated lack of confidence, it's going to be much more difficult. I'm not saying it's not possible to have your dream and build the career that you want, but it's going to be really hard. So we have to do the inner work of trusting the longing in order to step fully into our divine calling. So that is my invitation to you today and my encouragement. And I know I've said it in different ways, but it's so important to really work with that longing. So I want to ask you, what are you called for? Feel free to share in the comments below. What are you called into? What is your dream in music? If you really look at the longing, what is it showing you? What is it asking you to step into? What is it calling you towards? This is your potential, your sacred truth, your path, your journey. This is your soul sound speaking to you and saying, please, please listen, please step into this. I know it might be hard, I know it might be scary, but you were meant to do this. You have something extraordinary to offer, and the world needs your voice, especially right now with everything happening in our world, with everything that's been happening. This has been such an intense year on so many levels. The world needs more music. The world needs your music, and you have something unique and extraordinary that nobody else has to offer. We are each these individual, beautiful creations that are interconnected, and yet we have a unique way of offering something that comes through us into the world. So I encourage you to seek what that is. What is your soul sound? What is your true divine calling? And to really do whatever work you need to do to step fully into that, because you matter and your voice matters and is wanted and is needed. If you want support and help, if that feels like a lot of pressure, if you're not sure how to do this, this is exactly why I created the 90-day program From Closet Singer-Songwriter to Powerful Performer. So please go to the link that I put into the comments. And I know I talked about a lot already, so I won't go into it again. But this is a core part of the work that we do, is to help you have confidence in your longing, to find your soul sound, and to really understand specifically what is your artistic path, to no longer be swayed so much by the misunderstanding or the overwhelm or the angst or the uncertainty, but to really know who you are, what you have to offer, and how you can fully step into that. And then, of course, I'll also give you all of the skills and the tools to develop that, like your singing technique and songwriting and performance skills, and how to really begin to attract and build your audience. Okay, so that is the program. The link is in the comments, or shesingsoutloud.lpages.co/powerfulperformer. I would love to have you in the program. I'm also, as I said, happy to jump on the phone with you. Shoot me an email, shesingsoutloudcommunity@gmail.com, and we can schedule a time to talk over the next few days. Registration does close on Friday. $57 today gets you into the program on a payment plan. I love you all so much. I just want you to know that I totally respect who you are, where you're at in your journey, what you have to offer. Whether or not you choose to jump into the program, I am here to cheer you on every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And please, if you are watching and you're not part of our She Sings Out Loud community, I would love for you to join us on Facebook. It's our free Facebook community, She Sings Out Loud Sisterhood. You can search for it in the groups. And we'd love to have you, and just sending you so much love and wishing you a beautiful day of really tapping into your longing and working with how you can fully trust that, to move away from this myth of talent, from the I am and I'm not, and to really step into your divine calling. Many blessings to you all.